Back to channel. Today let us see the edema of pathology. So actually this is a capillary having an endothelial layer and there are outer cells. The space between the cells is the interstitium. The plasma colloid osmotic pressure of the capillary always tries to put the fluid inside, and the hydrostatic pressure of the capillary always tries to push the fluid towards the interstitium, and their plasma colloid osmotic pressure also tries to put the fluid always there, and their hydrostatic pressure same, they always try to pull the fluid towards the capillary. So 60% is made up of water. The extracellular water is of 1/3 and the intracellular water is 2/3. Of 5% of the water is present in the plasma. So here the outflow to the interstitium is maintained by the inflow at the venular end. The function of the lymph is always, here you can see the lymph stays here, always some interstitial fluid remains here, and the lymph always tries to pump it to the vein, especially to thoracic duct, and maintains the normal pressures and values. It is in the capillary pressure. This is what they are saying, that always increase in the capillary pressure or hydrostatic pressure, because we know hydrostatic pressure always tries to pull, so whenever it increases it always tries more to pull, and decrease in the plasma osmotic, as we discussed, as it is high then it is maintained here. When it is decreased, nothing but it is also pulling to outside. So this is what leads to the accumulation or edema. If the water is to the tissue space increase, then the lymph drainage can't handle it, and also the fluid accumulates more. And actually edema is the abnormal increase in the interstitial fluid within the tissues. In body cavities, hydrothorax, hydropericardium, hydroperitoneum is actually referred as ascites, and ansarca is a severe generalized edema. Generalized means whole over the body with a widespread of subcutaneous tissue swelling. And increase in the hydrostatic pressure or decrease in the plasma pressure, as we discussed, is nothing but the protein poor fluid. That is, the interstitial fluid edema is actually the protein poor fluid known as transudate, seen in the heart failure, renal failure, hepatic failure and malnutrition. So you see, whenever the heart fails, the capillary hydrostatic pressure increase, because the blood in the heart accumulates as it's failed. So the hydrostatic pressure even in the veins and arteries both side increase, and there is a decrease the renal blood flow, because your blood is stopped, the renal blood flow is decreased, and activation of renin angiotensin. Why this is activated? Because renal perfusion is decreased, that is the kidney is not able to perform normally, that is, it not able to reabsorb the salts and not able to reabsorb some important proteins, so it is decreased. So it activates the RAS system, the counter system, and this leads to the retention of sodium and water. We know as it activates, the sodium and water are retained, and also the ADH is released, so it prevents the loss, and it also controls causing the concentrated urine. So actually this is due to renal failure to the same problem, and this increases the blood volume. So as blood volume, that is nothing but hydrostatic pressure increase and the proteins are decreased, leading to edema. Actually the proteins are decreased because of decrease in plasma albumin. So why albumin is decreased? Actually albumin is because of hepatic synthesis or liver. When the synthesis is decreased in liver, like liver diseases, liver cirrhosis or any other liver diseases, and also in nephrotic syndrome, the plasma albumin is decreased because loss of albumin in the urine, and malnutrition whenever we don't get any proteins. So this is the key reason why we get edema, that is decrease in the pressure, increase in the hydrostatic pressure. So this is the types of edema. The normal edema is that which is due to decrease of decrease of colloid osmotic pressure and increased capillary pressure. The inflammatory edema is actually because of more protein, that is protein rich edema. Actually sometimes what happens is, whenever the protein increase, here the vascular permeability increase, that is the gaps, endothelial cells gaps are decreased, and the fluid start moving to the interstitial fluid, leading to inflammatory edema. Increase in the hydrostatic pressure, their reasons are due to the impairment in the venous return. That is, example, we can take the deep venous thrombosis in the lower part, that is legs, that is a localized, because only legs edema, and the generalized, that is whole over the body due to increase in the venous pressure, that is a systematic edema, and especially the congestive heart failure, where the right ventricle decrease. Here we are saying venous pressure. Venous pressure means actually related to right ventricle, because venous right side and left side we know arteries. This function lead to the pooling of blood in the venous side. And decrease in the plasma osmotic pressure, that is albumin, especially the major plasma protein decreases, or it is not synthesis, we discussed already. The important cause of loss of albumin is the nephrotic syndrome, discussed already. Glomerular capillaries become leaky and in generalized edema patients typically. And next, coming to decreased synthesis, it is due to the severe liver diseases like cirrhosis or protein malnutrition. So all this lead to decrease in the intravascular volume of the plasma protein, leading to the decreased renal perfusion, that is which triggers the renin-angiotensin system, again leading to the sodium and water retention. But even actually this sodium water retention also can't correct the plasma volume because there is very low decrease in the plasma protein. And next, coming to the sodium and water retention, increase in the salt retention, increase in the hydrostatic pressure and decrease in the plasma protein. Same reason occurs when the renal function is decreased, that is in the primary kidney problems. The important cause of the renal hypoperfusion is a congestive heart failure again, which is the most leading to edema, which activate RAS and lead to the salt retention. So actually in the early heart failure, it is useful. Actually this process is useful to maintain it, but later it advances because ADH improve the cardiac output in the starting and restore the normal renal perfusion, but later it worsen and the cardiac output decreases, which retain the fluid, resulting again to the increase in the venous pressure, causing the edema again. The salt restriction, diuretics, aldosterone, angiotensin antagonists are used in managing the generalized edema from other causes, and the primary retention of the water by the ADH production from the posterior pituitary, which occurs in the setting of the reduced plasma volume or in increased plasma osmolarity. So the inappropriate increase in the ADH is seen in association with the malignancy of lungs, pituitary diseases, and also lead to the hyponatremia and cerebral edema. Next, coming to lymph obstruction. Actually the impaired lymph drainage leads to the lymphedema. It is maybe localized and include the chronic inflammation with the fibrosis, invasive malignant tumors, radiation, and also infectious agents. Example, you can take the parasite filariasis, where the lymph obstruction is mainly due to the extensive inguinal lymph node fibrosis and edema of the external genitalia leading in the lower limbs, leading to elephantiasis. And severe upper extremity, we can take the complication of surgical removal or irradiation of breast or axillary lymph node in the patient with the breast cancer. So this is regarding the lymph structure. Morphology. Actually the edema is easily recognizable, so grossly we can find it. Microscopically you can see it by separation of extracellular matrix and subtle cell swelling. Any organ or tissue can be involved, but the edema is most commonly seen in the subcutaneous tissues like the lungs and the brain. So the subcutaneous can diffuse or more conspicuous in the regions with high hydrostatic pressure. In most cases, the distribution is influenced by gravity, because we know in legs we can see whenever stand, these kind of are known as dependent edema. And the finger pressure over the substantial edematous substance gives a sign or depression. This is known as pitting. If doesn't give, that is non-pitting edema. And the edema as a result of the renal dysfunction can affect all parts of the body. We already discussed. If often initially manifest in tissues with loose connective tissue matrix such as eyelids, periorbital edema. This periorbital edema we can find out in severe renal diseases and pulmonary edema. The lungs are often 2 to 3 times their normal weight, and the section yield frothy blood because of more water and a mixture of air edema and extra red cells. Brain edema can be localized or generalized process or injury with generalized edema. Actually with the generalized edema, the brain is grossly swollen with narrowed sulci, and we can see narrow sulci and distended gyri in the brain. This shows the evidence of compression against the unyielding skull. So the clinical consequences are, the consequence of edema range merely annoying to rapid, or it may be irritational to rapidly fatal. Subcutaneous tissue is most important primary because it signals the potential under the cardiac or the renal disease. However, when significant, it also impairs the wound healing or the clearance of the infection. So the pulmonary edema is a common clinical problem that is the most frequently seen in the setting of the left ventricular failure mainly. So occurs with the renal failure, acute and syndrome, and pulmonary infection not only Not only does fluid collect in the alveolar septa around capillaries and impede the oxygen diffusion, but edema fluid in the alveolars was also create a favorable environment for bacterial infections. So the brain edema is a life-threatening. If severe brain substance can herniate, extrude through the foramen magnum or brainstem, vascular supply can be compressed. Either condition can injure the medullary centers and cause death. So the